Thanks, Hads. There are already 19 National Smithsonian museums celebrating everything from Native American heritage to the country's history. I've seen the flag that inspired the Star-Spangled Banner at one of those, to a lot of animals, including dinosaurs, the Hope Diamond art, you name it. In less than 2 weeks, though, the latest edition will be open to the public.
Tens of thousands of people already have their tickets to the official opening of the Museum of African American History and Culture. Dr. Jack Daniels, who's the Madison College president, hoped to be among them, bought his plane fare, reserved his hotel, and you've struggled to get a ticket.
Yes, I've struggled, and thank you very much for having me this morning.
Of course.
Because they went through a process and just did not end up getting the ticket. I'm very disappointed in that, however.
So what does this mean? I mean, if you can, I'd like to talk about kind of historically, but also culturally now. I mean, as this museum opens today, what does it mean to you?
It means a great deal to me. There is no centralized location where you talk about African American artifacts. The museum is looking at, for the last 400 years, the struggle that African Americans have had in this country, politically, socially, as well as looking at the cultural base. There's many things happening from a cultural base in terms of our communities. We're talking everything from education to business to music, many of those types of things. And having the ability to have individuals, all Americans, look at those types of artifacts and look at the impact that African Americans have on this country would be tremendous.
Yeah, what are you most, I don't know if excited is the word for it, or most looking forward to seeing yourself and for others to be seeing and experiencing at this kind of museum?
I think the excitement is actually recognizing the value and the importance that African Americans played in the history of this country. Also representing the culture. The engagement of African Americans in terms of their culture to the entire culture of the American people. It's important for everyone to know that. And I think that's important for us.
It's interesting at this point in time, too, in our country's history. I mean, we're seeing some challenges with relationships, I guess. You know, we saw that in Milwaukee with unemployment rate being particularly high. And the challenges, do you feel like now this conversation needs to be held? I
believe very strongly it should be held right now. Understanding about the African American Museum, the first thoughts came out of it early on in the late 1890s. And then as we look forward from World War I, the group of Army vets, 50 of them, I think, got together and trying to put that together. You had another commission that was in the 1930s, and then the fighting struggles to actually get to where we are today in terms of this museum. And so I think it's 2002, 2003 when that actually was signed off by Congress.
Yeah. What does having then this museum open, I mean, what does that mean? What does that mean for you? What do you think it means for, people throughout the country, even here in Madison? You know, what does it mean?
It's a recognition of pride, the recognition of the achievements that African Americans made. Not being recognized. I remember when I was in school and I was looking at textbooks, no mention of African Americans and their contribution to our society. This is important for us, and I'm really grateful that it's being open.
I'm still hoping you can get a ticket.
Yeah, me too.
Gotta somehow make that happen.
If anyone, the powers that be are watching this, Dr. Jack Daniels needs a ticket.
Thank you for coming in this morning.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Perspective, we appreciate it.
Thank you.